Hello and welcome to a new edition of True Audio Files. Today I'm going to ask the question, and I think it's probably somewhat controversial, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, we all know that there's been a lot of controversy lately about cutting a record from a digital file as opposed to cutting directly from an analog master tape. And my question to you guys that I would love to hear your comments in this comments section here is, what would you prefer? Would you prefer to have a record that was cut straight analog where the analog tape had some issues? And what I mean by issues is like maybe some tape dropouts here and there, where you hear kind of a dropout of the high end, or some crackling, or stretching of the tape where, it sounds a little off speed a little bit because of that, or, any number of different things. We're going to make the assumption that whoever's cutting this knows what they're doing and is going to do as good a job as you can do with the tapes that you have. So that part is obviously not going to be in question. But so would you rather have something cut directly from the master tape if the master tape has at least 2 or 3 obvious and very noticeable defects in it? Or would you rather have that master tape digitized in a super high quality format, whatever format you feel is the best digital? I know a lot of you may say there's no such thing as good digital, but let's just throw that part out of the way here. But let's say we digitize it in the best possible way we can. Then it gets digitally restored and fixed where those 2 or 3 problems or more that were on those tapes are restored so where you can't hear that anymore. And then you cut it to vinyl. I ask this question because it does happen a lot, and I do every once in a great while listen to some of these great recordings that were cut by great engineers. Stuff that's done by Kevin Gray or Chris Bellman or Bernie Grunman or Ryan K. Smith or anyone out there. But there still are tape defects that you can clearly hear, like I've mentioned, the tape dropouts and things like that. One of the reasons why this came up, by the way, was the Doors mono release that was done by, I think it was ERC or ECR, I can't remember, whoever that company is that charges like $400 or $500 for a single release. They cut the Doors self-titled mono from the analog master tapes, the mono tapes that had some defects in them, and I just can't see, especially spending $400 or $500 on a record where there's known defects on the tape and they're obvious when you listen to it in playback. I'm not sure I could do that. So, for me personally, I would rather have it cut from digital and have those digitally repaired so you don't hear those. And, even if I could hear a difference between digital and analog, unless it was something really, really, really noticeable, and to me, a good quality digital file cut to analog to vinyl, I really can't say that I would be able to hear a difference between that and something from a master tape where, if you just did a straight, digital transfer, then cut it, and then an analog and cut it. But I don't know, because I don't know of any situation where I could truly do that comparison. But, the best known situations that I remember hearing about anyways, and things about what I'm talking about where you repair the original master tapes and then cut from digital, are the Queen remasters that were done several years ago. I don't remember, it was in the 2010s. I don't remember specifically when, but basically the newest Queen vinyl box set that came out a few years back, that was a vinyl box set were all cut from those digital files. And my understanding was there were several master tapes in the Queen back catalog, and I don't remember the specifics on which specific ones they were, but there were several they said, Brian May had said, had some damage on them, so they had to go out and find maybe master, safety copies and all kinds of other variations of those master tapes, and they had to kind of splice them together digitally, so you didn't hear any of the defects that were on the original master tape. So they made good quality, clean digital masters, and then they remastered those. And I want to say Bob Ludwig may have mastered those, but I can't recall. But anyways, all of those records in that box set were taken from, I think, 2496 high-resolution digital files into the vinyl. And quite frankly, all of them sound really good. And I would say all of the ones, when I did a comparison, which you can go back and look at my review that I did, or sound quality shoot I did, I don't know, a year or two ago, where they all competed very well with either early UK or early US pressings, and in some cases I thought they were as good or better, and even better than the MoFis that I have too. So, it's one of those things that comes down to the mastering and the source. If the source is your record's only going to sound as good as the source sounds, and if the source has got defects on it, my preference would be to get those defects fixed. And the only way you can really do that with a master tape nowadays and do it well and properly is in the digital domain, whether it's the plangent process or just doing some sort of digital splicing of some bad areas of tapes, whatever it needs to be done. And maybe it's a combination of all the different tools that you've got out there at your disposal. I think that should be done to preserve the overall sound quality integrity of that album, to make it sound as close as you can to what it sounded like when it was first released. So, but I want to hear your say, what you have to say about it. I want to try to keep this relatively short because I want to hear more comments more than anything. But what do you think? Do you think that you would much rather have a album that was cut or a record that was cut from the original analog master tape with all the defects and all straight to vinyl, or do you want them to repair those and cut it from a digital file? Please let me know in the comments section. If you liked what you saw here, please hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you liked what you saw as well. Hit that alert bell so you could know when my new videos come out. And I think that's basically everything I have for you for today. Thank you very much for watching, and you guys have yourselves a great rest of the day and a great rest of the week.